year's 2020, the world's ever changing, and I really feel like we need a survival guide for this year. So thanks for joining for part 3 of this 4-part segment, and if you're here for the first time, I'd like to welcome you. And if you're returning, thanks for coming back to learn more with us today. So staying connected has taken a whole new meaning this year, so the question is, how can we make this communication be more effective? So just like an Olympic swimmer, let's dive right in. You wouldn't walk to a friend's house without at least having some idea how to get there, right? No one wants to wander the streets alone, guessing even if you're in the right neighborhood. So for many of the world, web-based communication is a whole new concept, even if it isn't. There are always new things to learn to be more efficient with our meetings. So as we kick things off, we're going to talk about how you can plan for your team communication. So the big question is, why should I plan out my communication at all? Structured communication helps you deliver your message and your audience to be able to understand it. Using notes or key points can help you say all the necessary ideas you want to present. By planning for breaks in longer presentations, you can keep everyone engaged. So you're preparing to set up your meeting, and the first thing on your agenda should be to set a time. It's key to find a time that's viable for your entire audience because poorly timed meetings can cause additional stress to participants. By scheduling days or weeks in advance, there's a better chance of engagement and participation as people have time to plan around the meeting. It's also important to find time for your meeting that does not interrupt important work for your team. So what types of web-based meetings are there? Well, first off, there's video conferencing right out the gate. It's a superior web-based meeting platform with the ability to better communicate and connect with your team. Next up, we've got audio conferencing. While not as effective, it's a tried and true method that's been around for years to help you communicate with your team. Next are group chat sessions, which can be effective to have a window of communication you can quickly reference back to. And lastly, there's the timed email correspondence, when you work with a team at a certain period of time together, completely through email. This style is probably the most outdated of the 4 and is seen as not nearly as effective. But it's what we used to do back before web-based chat, video conferencing, and things like that became a normal, became a solid foundation and tool. So the next step in creating an effective meeting is prepping your files or your visual aids. First, make sure that your files are going to be compatible with the system you're using as well as for the participants involved. Second, you should always test your audio and video connection for clarity. Next, fire up your camera, test the visibility of your visual aids that you're going to use for the video conference setup. And send out any larger files before the meeting to allow time for participants to download the media. So the meeting's coming up soon. Everyone said they're going to be there. How do you keep their attention? First, I want you to set an itinerary for any longer meetings to help keep yourself on topic and have a steady flow for the meeting. Then remember to include breaks so the participants can take a moment to stretch or use the bathroom. Always ask questions as a way to have your team participate and keep them engaged. And if your meeting is for an extended period, take longer topics and break them into segments to help keep everyone together. So let's take a moment to recap some of those important tips to keep your meeting successful. Get to the meeting ahead of time. Being the first person there and the first prepared will not only get you ready to start on time, but can boost confidence. Allow time in your meeting or presentation for questions and feedback from your team. This can be during breaks or even at the end. But make sure that the feedback pertains to the subject at hand. Lastly, keep the mood both light and professional. Strict overbearing meetings can often do more harm than good. So have a little fun while you're at it. Alright, so if you've been with us before, you know what time it is. It is quiz time. So no cheating on your neighbors. So what is the key reasons for notes or an itinerary for a meeting? To give a good flow and to make the meeting go smoothly so you don't miss important points. So true or false, break or intermissions during longer meetings cause people to lose interest. That would be a false. It is proven that breaks during longer meetings help people get comfortable and re-engage. The last thing you want, especially if you're on a video call, is the other person to go start playing Facebook games. So name 2 of the 4 types of web-based meetings. All right, I hope you wrote these down with your fancy pencil. So video conferencing, audio conferencing, group chat sessions, or a timed email correspondence. Those are all 4 of those types of different web-based meetings. So how did you do? I bet you did good. So there's nothing more important to us to help you succeed in this rapidly changing landscape. It may seem near impossible as everything evolves around us here in 2020, but we're here to help you continue to learn and grow. So thanks for joining us for part 3 of this exciting series. And if you have any questions or maybe need a little bit of help, feel free to reach out to us at Northern Technology Services. We're going to be happy to be part of your success story. So thanks for tuning in.